Hey GB gang, Brandon here with a Nintendo Switch 2 comparison. The Splatoon 3 free update for Nintendo Switch 2 dropped tonight, and we finally got Splatoon 3 in that crispy, ultra high definition. And immediately when you start the game up and you watch the Anarchy Splatcast, it's in 60 frames per second, especially that intro animation, which I wasn't expecting. It was a bit of a shock, not gonna lie. But it runs at a rock solid 60 frames per second, and that added resolution really lets all of Splatoon's artistic choices shine. Shine is an important word, because any shiny surface is now incredibly crispy to look at. You can really see it in Shiver and Fry's clothes and hair. But when you drop into Splatsville, that's when the update really starts to shine, because Splatsville and the various other lobbies used to run at 30 frames per second on Nintendo Switch 1. But now they are all locked at 60 frames per second, and they look absolutely stunning. The gameplay was generally 60 frames per second. I can't think of many times in which it isn't outside of high-level salmon run matches. But being able to have the entire game in 60 frames per second is such a boon. And also characteristic of other Nintendo Switch 1 first-party games, distant NPCs would usually have a lower frame rate than the rest of the closer details, but here in the Nintendo Switch 2 update for Splatoon 3, you'll see that basically every NPC at all distances are running at their native 60 frames per second. It's a small thing, all things considered, but the extra fidelity is welcome. And for those of you on Switch 1, you'll remember that the Grand Festival Hub was about 30 frames per second also. And this place is absolutely stunning, especially in its night version. When all three idol groups are on stage and the crowd is cheering for them, seeing that in 60 frames per second in this high resolution is remarkable. It already looks stunning on Switch 1 just because of the spectacle of it all, but here on Switch 2 you can really appreciate what they're going for here. That extra resolution also comes in handy in modes like Salmon Run, where there are a lot of things happening on the screen at once, so being able to properly discern everything that's going on makes it easier for you to perform, and just makes the experience all the better. And quite possibly the coolest thing about this update is that it wasn't just a performance update for Switch 2. This is version 10 of Splatoon 3, and with it come the fabled third kits. We have 30 brand new weapon kits to play with. A lot of them are very garish and gauche. I quite like that, especially this splatter shot. It's very colorful. Hardcore Splatoon fans have been begging for third kits, so it's really cool to see that they finally got added here. And again, that wasn't everything. This Splatoon 3 update also added Urchin Underpass from Splatoon 1, probably the most iconic map in Splatoon history. I played my first match on it tonight, and it was with the orange and blue Splatoon 1 colors. It was very appropriate. What a fun way to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Splatoon. From here, I'll just let you see footage, how it compares to the Switch 1 version of Splatoon 3, and hopefully we'll see you online and playing some Splatoon 3 matches as we wait for the next game in the series, Splatoon Raiders, hopefully coming out later this year exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2. For all things Nintendo Switch 2 news, reviews, and everything between, stay here to GVG, but until then, keep the games good and the vibes greater. Bye now.